Guess it's that time. It's time for the Cat Kanavos Show here on New Earth International. And here she is herself, the host, Cat Kanavos. You're on live with Cat Kanavos.
Welcome to the show tonight, everyone. A down-to-earth force of nature. Veronica Torres brings a deep commitment to conscious living, a powerful desire for clarity, and a great sense of humor to every situation. She is the producer of Well Being Expos. She's also the author of more than 20 books, and she has a network. She is also a network director of the holistic practitioners group, Eclectic Health. So, welcome to the show, and we're so glad you're here, Veronica.
Thank you so much for having me. It's lovely to be with you.
We were on Kelly Sullivan Walden's show, Dreams Unzipped, and I just fell in love with your message and Eloheim and what you were doing. And so I wanted to invite you onto this show to actually see you do it.
That's wonderful. I'm really happy that we're connecting again. You know, the summer's almost gone, and it's sort of like we bookended the summer together. So that's really special.
Yeah. So currently, with all that you're doing, your full attention is focused on working with Eloheim. So can you give us a little idea of who Eloheim and the Council is?
Yeah, so I've been working with them since 2002, and in essence, the easiest way to explain it is Elohim is my soul, and I connect more deeply with my soul by connecting in through the channeling process. And in this process, I'm able to set my personality aside so that deeper part of me can offer its perspective on situations, both for myself and for the community.
So for our listeners, in case they don't know, which I'm sure most of them do because it's a pretty savvy group when it comes to spirituality, what is channeling?
Yes. Again, the best, I found the easiest way to understand channeling is that I am able to set my personality aside. So the part of me that's Veronica is off to the side, and it literally feels like it's off to the side. Oftentimes when we sit in a circle, I feel like it's sitting in the next chair over. I'm sitting in the next chair over, which allows Elohim and the various council members to then use my body to offer their message. Now, it's primarily my voice, but they also use my body language, and they also sometimes do hands-on work with people, and of course, lots and lots of energetic work.
Wow, that's amazing. So what is the focus of Elohim's teachings?
They really want to help us break out of habits and live consciously. And what they mean by that is knowing what the current version of you desires, knowing what the current version of you is wanting, is ready for, where the yes is in the current version of you, rather than using the previous versions of ourselves to navigate a situation. One of the examples they give, which I think is fabulous, is that they say, you know, you've gone to all the classes, you've watched all the videos, you've read all the books, and yet when something comes up, you let the 12-year-old or 15-year-old or 20-year-old version of you handle the situation, rather than the 40 or 50 or 60-year-old version of you that spent all these decades improving yourself. When you default to habit, you're really letting that old version of you handle a situation. And just as, you know, those folks who have kids don't want the 12-year-old version of them raising their kid or doing their job, you don't want the 12-year-old version of you doing pretty much anything except maybe like running into sprinklers. And, you know, how often do we get to do that? So
how did you first realize Elohim was a part of you? I mean, How did that happen?
For a really long time, I just thought I was channeling, you know, and Elohim, I have this really great benefit, and that is I'm not a super curious person, meaning that I don't have these big questions about the universe that seems like everybody else has. So when Elohim came along and entered into my life, I was like, cool, Elohim's here. Let's see what we can learn together rather than, you know, giving them the 50 quiz show questions. So I never really cared that much who they were, what they do when I'm not working with them, where they sleep, or if they sleep at all. I just never cared about that stuff. And people would always ask me, what do you mean you haven't asked them all those questions? That would have been the first thing I would ask. And I just say, that's just not me. So it took a really long time before it became very interesting to me. And when it finally did, and they started in the process of unfolding their teachings, we started talking about, bringing in your soul's perspective and allowing your soul to be part of your earth journey. Rather than have amnesia about your soul's wisdom and awareness, combining your soul's wisdom and awareness with your physical experiences, with your physical awareness. And then, it just became clear that, like, wow, that's what you are. You're my soul. So I am the human part, you're the non-human part. Together we make something brand new. And that's what we do.
So is Elohim a person or entity or soul unto itself, and then there's the council? Or
Yes.
Okay.
So I channel 7 different groups regularly. There are others that drop in as like one-time guests, but the council is Elohim and 6 other energies, 6 other groups, 6 other souls that we work with. And they're all very, very different. And they have different things they want to teach us. So together, it's sort of like a college course. If you only went to one professor the whole time, not so interesting. But as you move between professors, you get a well-rounded education. And it's a lot like that. They're all collaborating to offer us the ability to move out of habit and to start really feeling the absolute potential of the human form and the human life here on Earth.
Wow. So what did you feel, or how did you feel different the first time you channeled? Did you feel anything physically different?
Oh, yes. The first time I ever channeled Elohim, what had happened was a few years before that time, I had gone to a psychic because I was having trouble in the marriage that I was in at that time. And I wanted some insight from the psychic about it. And the psychic said, well, what we have to tell you is you're going to become a channel and you're going to be known around the world. And I went, I don't want that. I don't care. Shush. Where in that is marital advice? What are we talking about? And so I just shelved that because I was not at a time in my life where that made any sense or helped me in any way. A few years go along, and I got into, I guess, a different place in my life. I mean, I still felt like I was in pretty much the same situation, but I guess the idea had grown on me. And I was with some friends, and we were doing a chant. And at the end of the chant, I sat down, and all of a sudden his voice came out of my mouth, and it said, "We are the Elohim, and we are pleased to be with you today," and gave a message to a person I didn't even know about something that was going on with her. And when that was over, which was about 5 minutes or so, I burst into tears because everyone was staring at me, and I didn't want everyone staring at me. I was like, "Stop looking at me." And everyone was like, "That was amazing. Can you do it again?" I'm like, I don't even know what happened. I mean, I know what happened, but I didn't know what happened. You know what I mean? I'm like, ah. So I said, shelve that again. And so it was a couple years later where I opened up to being, who I am today, I guess, and starting on the process. But I mean, this was 2002 when I actually started publicly channeling. So it feels like it's been a while. Nowadays, it's just, 24/7 Elohim.
So the first time this happened, were you aware that you were channeling? Could you hear what you were saying?
Yeah.
Or was this a sleeping channel?
No, I've never been the sleeping channel, the trance channel. I've always been a conscious channel. I've always heard what's going on. And what's interesting is a lot of times, as an example, a new person came to our public group, sat down at the microphone, and Elohim said, "So, what's up with your left hip?" This is a person I don't even know, right? "What's up with your left hip?" And Elohim can feel that there was something going on with her left hip. I didn't, as sitting there in the chair channeling, my Veronica awareness did not feel it. But Elohim was like, "Oh yeah, the ladies, of course, going, oh yeah, definitely." And, it all went on for there. So the perceptions that I have when I'm not channeling, I'm very psychic. But when I am channeling, I don't feel the same way. Elohim knows, but I don't physically feel it. So it's a very strange thing to navigate. And it's good that I've been doing it for so long because I've gotten better at it. In the beginning, it was hard.
That is just amazing. So how has working with Elohim changed your life from before to now?
Every single thing has changed, I think. I mean, the main takeaway for me has been I used to be afraid 24/7. I used to constantly be in fear. I remember the funniest story I have about this is I was riding in the car with a friend of mine. And, I live in Sonoma, California. It's like 45 minutes north of San Francisco. It's wine country tourist land. It is not a dangerous place to live by any stretch of the imagination. It's a very small town. And we're driving along, and I asked him, I said, "Are you afraid of the people in the car behind you when you drive?" And he just looked at me with this look on his face like, have you lost yourself? What kind of question is that? And I realized I'm always afraid back then of the person walking on the street while I'm driving, or the person behind me at night. I would be afraid to get up and get a drink of water in my own house. I was always afraid in every way you can imagine. Planning for disaster scenarios, laying in bed thinking, well, if this happens, then I'll do that kind of business every night. And I don't do any of that anymore.
So did you ever ask Elohim why you had been so afraid?
Well, it's not hard to figure out if you knew my whole history. It wasn't exactly a safe journey to get to adulthood. So there's a reason, there was reasonable situations that occurred to make me believe the world wasn't exactly a safe place. But even as I became an adult and those types of relationships were no longer involved, that fear never left. Just because I was, quote, safe, I didn't feel safe until I started working with Elohim and learning how to have new relationships to habitual behaviors.
Interesting. So you talk about living consciously or learning conscious living. What do you mean by that?
Exactly. So when people navigate their everyday life, most of the time they're either acting out of remembering something that happened in the past, worried about the future, a cultural or familial programming, or straight up, they're not thinking about it at all. They're living habitually, right? They're just going through the motions, and they've been doing it the same way they've always done it, and they don't reflect upon what is happening in their lives. Conscious living is always checking in, always letting yourself find out what is really going on right now. What do I really believe? A good example of this is like racism. Let's just pick something that's topical. Racism. Sometimes people have their belief that they could be racist for whatever reason. They're justified in that belief. But a lot of times it's because they were raised to believe that they should be racist. Raised to believe that they could see the world in another way. So when they consciously evaluate the moment and say, wow, just because your skin color is different doesn't mean you're not the same as me. My mama and my daddy and their grandpappies might have said that, but do I feel that way? So one is habitual and one is conscious, but you have to take that moment to say, what do I really feel? What is really real for me? What is my truth now? And that step, a lot of people don't ever take.
Well, don't go away. If you're listening right now, don't go away. I think we have somebody trying to call in to actually talk to Veronica or ask a question on the show, but we are going to take a quick break where we're going to have a few words from our sponsors, and then we'll be right back. And Veronica and Eloheim are going to share some tools for you. So don't go away. Be right back.
There comes a point where science can only go so far. I had a nightmare. My guides came into my dream. He said, "You have breast cancer." My intuition and physician within saved my life.
Dr. Bernie Siegel says Kathleen's story is powerful, honest, and eye-opening.
You were born with inner guidance. Let me teach you how to use it.
And we're back for the Kanavos show. We do have a caller on the line. If they want to speak, this is the time to speak. We have a caller on the line. If you want to speak, this is your time to speak.
Okay. You want to bring the caller on?
Yes, if they want to speak, they're unmuted. This is the time to speak. Can you hear us, caller? They're not saying anything.
Hello?
Oh, there
Can
we
you
go.
hear us? Let me click the green button and see if I can bring them on. Hello? Guess not. Okay, so let's go back to tools for conscious living. Veronica, is there any way you can share some of those tools with us that we might be able to use?
I'd love to. Since we're on video, which is a fun, technological advancement here, these books, there's 3 volumes. These are all tools. And I've actually made a combo book of the ebook for folks. And, in these books alone, there's 53 tools. Eloheim's probably given us 253. And they're just always these amazing little nuggets that address whatever's going on with the person. And one that I think is immediately applicable to any situation is what we call the I'm tempted to tool. And what that means is simply, as we were talking about breaking habit, right? Insert the words I'm tempted to in front of whatever you thought you were going to say or do or feel. So the racism thing, because that's the example I found earlier, I'm tempted to think that something's wrong with you because of your skin color, rather than just acting on something's wrong with you because of your skin color, right? And what happens when you put that I'm tempted to in front, it creates a little break in the action, a break in the habit, but it also requires you to use a different part of your brain. It literally requires you to rewrite your neural pathways. So the other example that we use a lot of the times is you spill something in the kitchen, and a reaction that's very common is to get really mad at yourself about it and maybe cuss or scream or yell or blame somebody else for it or whatever people like to do. I'm tempted to be mad right now. Whoa. Is getting mad actually going to clean the kitchen floor? No. But by saying I'm tempted to, it just gives you that moment to go, oh, wait a second. Okay, I don't have to handle this in the way I've always handled it. I don't. And then you carry on from there. I tell you, that one is just, it is life-shattering in a good way. It will break up so many habits and just give you a new lease on life. I love that one. One that's a little bit more esoteric, perhaps, for your listeners that have been following along with all the great things you're teaching, is the energetic billboard tool. And if you just imagine that when you leave the house, you're wearing a sign around your neck and it's hanging down there right on your chest. And whatever you've got going on, I don't like myself, I don't feel lovable, I think I'm too fat, too skinny, too tall, too whatever, old, whatever people got going on. Or, no one loves me because you had a fight with your kids, I'm a bad mother, whatever. Just imagine it's written on that board. And as you walk around in the world, that's what people see and read. Now, of course, this is all energetic, but it's really strong. Mm-hmm. So checking in with your energetic billboard before you leave the house. Before you get out of your car, as you're walking into any building, just say, what's on my billboard? And even if my billboard is empty or neutral, that's a great thing rather than those messages I just mentioned. But what about a message that says, I am willing, or I am fascinated, or I am present in the now? Any of those things could work too, and I'm sure the listeners have tons of them. But a lot of times people don't realize that they're broadcasting a signal in the way that they are. And so bringing your attention to this idea of an energetic billboard is like, oh, wait, I was going to go out of the house thinking I'm a bad mother. I'm just never going to, I'm never going to recover from that fight with my kids. And that's what you're telling people. When you go to job interviews, what is on your billboard at the job interview? Oh, I bet they're not going to like me. I've had such a hard time finding a job. Will this, da-da-da-da-da-da-da? Or is it, I'm really curious to see if this is a good fit for me and a good fit for you. That's what's going to be on your billboard. You get to decide. You really do. And this is one of these sort of builds a muscle things. So if you keep reminding yourself, what's on my billboard? What's on my billboard? If you get into a tiff with the kids or a thing in traffic where all of a sudden you're all upset, what was on my billboard right before that happened? Yeah.
Interesting. So I understand that you are giving a gift away all of this month of August, which isn't a whole lot of time left, but it's to celebrate your birthday, but you're giving a gift away to all the listeners. Tell us about that.
Yes. So during my birthday month, I always like to give gifts to other people. And last year I was actually in London with Eloheim, so I missed my whole birthday thing last year. So I figured I'd make up for it this year by going just big time. So what I've done is every day of the month I've given a gift. But the great thing is they're still live. Every single one of them is live. So you can get the whole month's worth of gifts right now. And because we're doing the show right at the end of the month, I'm going to extend it. So I'll leave them all live for at least the first week of September. So everybody has plenty of time to grab them. And so they're free books like this book right here, Discovering You. You get the whole book for free, the ebook version. That's day one. Then on like day 3 or 4, you get a big chunk of this book for free. Why? Because it's cool. Why not? So you get discounts on private sessions, you get free audio, you get free video, you get free transcripts, you get discounts on other stuff, and it's just, it's been fun. It's been fun. So every day it's like birthday. Yeah.
Well, thank you. Thank you for, we're thanking you for your birthday gift that you are giving to us. I mean, I love that. You know, somebody else's birthday and I get the gift.
Yes, it's really, really fun. And so if they go to my website, Eloheim.com, and that's Eloheim.com, you can grab all the gifts. And if you are on Facebook, you can join my Facebook group, Connect with Elohim. And I keep of course, I've been posting like crazy in there about all this because it's fun. And that's a good place to be in contact with us. I post in the group every day and I'm there all the time, interacting with folks, answering questions, and just getting to know people.
And how can people get your books if they'd like to?
Yeah, Amazon's really it's just easy to get them on Amazon. If you want paperbacks, you can order them on my website. Like I have, you said, be sure to hold up your books. I'm like, here's some more. We've done a lot of books. I went into book mode back in 2011, 2012, and I just didn't stop until I got to like 20 books. And then I stopped. And I haven't published very many books since then. But we go into modes. I have 3 different card decks, 20 books, 500 YouTube videos. We do a lot. And we'd love to have your listeners join in.
Oh, and I know that they'll want to. So let me ask you, Veronica, is it possible to speak with Elohim for just a second to ask a question?
Sure. The only trouble is Elohim's kind of wordy, so I'll tell him to be fast because I know we're on a time thing. So let me grab him real quick for you, and then the talk to Elohim for just a sec is a funny idea. If you, not because you said it, but because they don't usually have short answers. Hang on. Yeah. Oh, wow. Hi. Oh, hi. Hello.
Hi.
What are we doing? Hi. Okay, how can we help you?
Well, I have a question for you, Elohim.
Okay.
Quite a few people have asked me, and even on my previous show, someone said, have you noticed the changes that are going on in the world, the shifts that are happening, and that a lot of people are very unhappy with the shifts that are going on? What are your feelings about that? And do you think these shifts are for our betterment?
Oh, you guys are in the most amazing time of humanity ever. Ever. This is the most amazing ever time. You have the internet. You're connected to people all around the world. You've never had that option before. In the past, you had to get into an airplane and fly someplace. Now all you got to do is do this thing, whatever you guys call this. Veronica says it's Zooming. We're Zooming. And we're talking to you wherever you are. We have no idea, to people who are way over there. We don't know where anybody is. It's amazing. That alone is creating such a change in the fabric of humanity. You cannot understate it, overstate how amazing that is. And what comes along with it is now you know the business of everybody. And you know the business of the friend, of the dog, of the cousin, of the friend on Facebook that you might not even actually know. You're like, oh my God, my Facebook friend's cousin's dog got hit by a car. And now your nervous system has to process stuff that's not even close to being part of you. And stuff happens in the news and celebrities die and it's just all coming out of you, the screen all day long. Your nervous systems have not been upgraded to match and meet the need for a new way of handling the increased stimulus. You meet online more people and learn more information in one day than you used to learn in a month or a year or a lifetime. And your nervous system has not been upgraded to handle that. So even though we're at a time where there's so much going on that's positive, some people are feeling really run down by it. And that's the current, right at the cutting edge of the work we're doing right now, literally, is upgrading the nervous systems and giving you new ways to process and handle the energy that's coming into your system so that you can be very, very present in the now and offer a constructive exchange with the information and the energy you're getting from the world at large.
So we have about 3 minutes left, Eloheim, and that was a great answer. Is there one tip you can give our audience today to help them with that nervous system? Because I think you're absolutely right.
Here's
What
the
can
thing.
they do?
What's
Here's
one
the
thing. The nervous system in your body, that's actually the nerves, the things that's making Veronica's arm go up and down right now, we call that your blue system. We don't have time to explain why. It's a funny thing. It doesn't mean anything other than it's a funny thing. So the blue system is the thing that makes the tissues be nurtured and the hands and fingers move and the eyeballs work. Okay, the blue system is only for you. Repeat after us. Blue is for you. That's it. Blue is for you. The problem is that you've only ever known that your blue system is available to you to process the Facebook friends, cousins, neighbors, dog problem, right? So you run that straight into your actual nervous system. What we can say in another 14 seconds is just be aware of this. Be aware that information, you don't have to run through your actual nervous system. You don't have to feel the adrenaline of that. You can feel compassion and understanding, and you can wish something would help them out, but you don't have to do that part, the stomach and the breathing and the heart rate. Now, there's a lot more to be said about this, but if people start catching, wow, I'm acting like this is happening to me right now. And then what am I offering back? If I'm adding the upset and the adrenaline and the, oh my God, that's horrible. If that's what I'm giving back, if I can maybe give neutrality, if maybe I could give love, if maybe I could give, wow, I'm really happy that's not happening to me. Not because I'm happy it's not happening to me because it's happening to you, but I'm recognizing, a better way to say this, I'm recognizing that that's not happening right now. And then I can offer something authentic in the compassion category to you, rather than just amping up the adrenaline that you're already feeling by responding with, oh, that's horrible. There's more you can offer. There's more, and something actually more constructive you can offer.
Thank you so much, Eloheim. I really, really appreciate you coming on and sharing that with our listeners. Can I say goodbye to Veronica now?
We'll get her. Hang on. It was fun. We enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Oh, hello. That's quick.
Hey, Veronica.
I'm back.
Talking to Eloheim. That was really cool.
Yeah.
I just wanted to tell you that this has been a great show, and I want to thank you so much for being on it with us. And again, for those of you who are tuning in, we have Veronica Torres with us, and she was just channeling Eloheim, who was fantastic. And again, go to Veronica's website. Veronica, do you want to give it to us for their free birthday gift, your birthday, their gift?
Go get 30 gifts. Eloheim.com, ELOHEIM, or connect with Eloheim on Facebook.
Thank you so much.
That's the group name. Connect with Eloheim is our group on Facebook. I don't see that after channeling brains like, woo, it'll come back.
Well, thank you everybody for listening in to the show today. We've had a wonderful time with Veronica and Eloheim, and make sure you come back not next Monday because it's a holiday, and we all want you to spend it with your family, but the following Monday, same time, same place, Monday night, 5 p.m. Pacific, and you can go to my Facebook page, Kathleen O'Keefe Kanavos, and also the show page, The Cat Kanavos Show. And my website is www.KathleenO'KeefeKanavos.com. So until next Monday, thank you again, Veronica and Eloheim. Thank you, listeners, and we'll see you next time.
You've been watching the Cat Kanavos Show here on New Earth International. Check us every Monday, except next Monday, the holiday, here on New Earth International.